Unless you've been living under a rock, you have probably heard of the RXM from Ruger and Magpul. RXM. They came out with their Gen 3 Glock compatible gun, and I upgraded it. Just pull the band-aid off. You've already seen my initial tabletop, couch-top review of the RXM, and in that video I said, man, when a company comes out with a all-metal frame for these guns, it is going to completely change the game. And Sharps Brothers did not disappoint. This is their compact or standard size frame. It's the same overall size as the factory gun, as you can see. But they've done a few extra things, little touches, little things that make the gun even better. And I want to talk about that. Elephant out of the room, it's a $330 chassis. Making this, depending on where you buy it from, if your local gunmonger's gouging because he's a jerk, then you're going to pay more. But these guns on their own sell for about $400, and this is a $340 chassis. So you're talking about $700-ish, unless, again, you find an a-hole. It has an O-sight on it, but no, excuse me, this is actually the Holosun. My apologies. But yeah, you don't have to put a $500 optic on a $400 gun, but it doesn't hurt. Zang. But this guy now has the feel of guns like the Smith & Wesson M&P Metal lineup, which is an $800 gun, a Canik Rival. Don't wait a minute before you start arguing in the chat. But it has the weight and feel of like a Canik Rival, an AXG Legion, a lot of different guns that are all metal guns that feel premium, but they also carry that same premium price tag. A 365 AXG Legion, which is actually roughly the same footprint as this, is a $1,200 gun, $1,400 with an optic. So this is actually a little bit less, and I feel it's much more customizable. And let's face it, didn't go boom. I love my dog. He's not even fazed by this. By the way, this is how I sit. I sit on a chair in front of my couch, and then Rocky. Hi. I'm covered in dog fur because he's a shedder. Yeah, so let's get back to the gun. First thing we'll do, show clear, drop the mag, and show off the beautiful color of this frame. I love bronze guns. Bronze and black is an amazing combination, and the fact that they build these chassis systems, or the chassis for the guns, with removable grip panels so that you can customize that down the road, super awesome. They build in their own little gas pedals, which is an amazing thing. And just overall, it really matches the gun. They did the same kind of front cut, and before you say anything about them not matching up the lines, they don't match to the factory gun either. So that was just an unfortunate thing that Ruger created by the way they designed it. But it also enhances a lot of things, like you see the shape of the rear beaver tail on the Sharps Brothers frame versus the plastic original RXM frame. And there's nothing inherently wrong with this frame. It just makes it feel, this frame feels like a Gen 1 Glock. This one feels kind of 1911 Beretta-ish, more Beretta actually. You can see it's not a straight vertical thing because of the way it flares down at the bottom. I do not have the magwell. I'll have to reach out to John over at Sharps and see if they can get me one. Even if I have to pay for it, I will, because I really want to add the magwell. I have it on my Echelon, and I really like it. Also, thank you, John, for sending me the spare grip panels for the Echelon. If you've never seen the Echelon video, I'll put it up there. I cracked the grip on the wood side panel on the Echelon when I was trying to be an idiot. It was my fault, but he still sent me a new set of grip panels. Thank you so much. Again, once this grip panel or this grip frame is on the RXM, oh my goodness, it really does change the feel of the gun. Little things they did, like making the undercut even thinner. Because this is metal, you can do that. You can see it is substantially thicker. You can see right there in the back of the trigger guard, as well as the width right in there. You can really see it around the mag release area, that you can get up higher. This is a 15-round gun, and I can get all my fingers on without the magwell. The beaver tail, the way they curved it up into the body, they thinned out the upper rear part of the gun. So, man, when you are really up on it, you are up on it. Unless you are a gravy seal, you should not have a problem with slide bite. If you have a problem with slide bite, just drop your finger a couple of millimeters. The takedown for the RXM means that it's super easy to swap over the chassis. one roll pin, and that bad boy pops out, and doink, you are out. Very easy, very simple. It's actually even simpler than the Echelon, because the Echelon has that stupid double rail system and all that fun stuff. This is very simple. You do have to reuse your mag release, or you can get a extended mag release. I'm fine with the mag release that's in there, just because it does work for me. Not a problem. You can see I don't even have to break my grip. So there's no reason for me to change it. The slide lock slide release, because it's the original unit, I'm probably going to change that out for an extended one. Now that this gun has a gas pedal built into it and all that good stuff, I'm probably going to make a couple of changes there. Another change I like in the front here is they went with a 4-slot Picatinny rail. Let's get the box out of the way. A 4-slot Picatinny rail so that you can put lights, lasers, bazookas, small children holding tactical bananas, because some lights have a mount that can be moved, some lights do not. So if your gun has one rail slot and the light doesn't cooperate with that rail slot, then you are screwed. This, by the way, is the Nitecore NP-L35. I have a video coming out on this. This is a really good alternative to lights like the Streamlights TLR1, as well as the X300, and it has a removable battery. So yeah, I'll be doing a video on this light. But I also I'm filming a video on the Apollo 11. I thought I'd put that out there. Also, about the same size, same weight, and they both shoot very comfortably. So there you go. I just compared a 2011 to a Ruger RXM. Fight me in the comments. The original gun had the suppressor height sights because its optics cut right out of the box. I'm running the Holosun EPS full size. The interesting thing about the EPS full size is it's actually designed to fit within a RMSC footprint. So when you take these two screws out of here, the screw holes for the RMSC are where these screws are on this optic, but the overall length of the body is designed to fit inside of a standard RMSC cut, which I found very interesting because that means this optic can go on a lot of guns. They include a plate from Holosun to fill out the space of a standard RMR. Check out Holosun. They sent this and the 509 titanium to me, the 509T that stands for titanium. They sent the lights out to me to check out. I'm really enjoying this dot. Has a really easy, good picture. Has the circle, dot, 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 circle, circle, no circle, circle, everything circle. And I really like their stuff. They are a great option, and they look good, too. Yes. The trigger pull on the RXM, mine comes in at just over 5 pounds, and you know what? I'm fine with it because it is a pre-cocked double action striker. I can lower the weight by changing out the trigger. I still might do that if one of my favorite companies is Steel City Arsenal. Sorry, this sounds like a promotional video for everybody. It's not a paid thing. I've run Steel City Arsenal in my Glocks for a long time. Here's a little bit of a, oh my God, he actually talks about Glocks. I own 7 Glocks, and 3 of them have Steel City Arsenal triggers in them. They're like $90, and they run great. But anyways, the stock trigger is pretty good. One thing that every company does better than Glock in reference to this trigger safety is they make it so that it fits flush against the trigger shoe. One thing I don't like after putting 300-400 rounds through a Glock is you get a crease in your finger and it hurts. It hurts to shoot a Glock a lot. Your gun shouldn't hurt you. It can wear you out. It can be tiring, but it shouldn't physically hurt to shoot a Glock. And that's one thing they need to improve with their Gen 6. And hey, Glock, I'm going to give you this one for free. You don't even have to pay me for it since you're such a slow iterator. A flush fit trigger shoe, and you can call it the Gen 6. Nobody will care. You're basically Apple. This is a pretty solid feel in there. It doesn't change at all when it's inside the chassis, but it just feels like a better gun. I know it's a weird thing to say. I'm sorry. It really is, because all I did was I changed out the frame. But changing out the frame on a gun like this is literally all you need to do. Let's go ahead and take it apart. Standard takedown, and I'll show you the inside of the frame. So it does have a double locking block, which is interesting for the Ruger, where you have this front pin, which is down there, which just retains the entire SCU. And then this comes in here. That pin, as you can see, goes through and retains your slide lock slide release. So yeah, make sure when you reassemble it, you have all that in the right place. Much easier fit into this chassis than the Echelon, like I said, and that's not a fault of Sharps. That's the manufacturer design. They created a peg and all this bull crap you got to do to get an Echelon together. As you can see, it's a little dirty. I put a few rounds through it already, just testing it out, and then the gun shoots amazing. But yeah, everything fits perfectly in here. They measured precisely, so every line, every cut is as good, if not better, than the factory. And you can see their metal is actually thicker than the polymer, even though it's thinner in some place. Overall, the entire body is thicker than the factory. Yes, the checkering, oh, I like it. It looks like it's pretty minimalist, but when it's in your hand and you have a proper grip on it, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. This isn't terrible because it's stippled, but anybody that has shot a Glock long time will know that the grip texturing is pretty important, and Echelon and this gun both have the Sharps Brothers removable panels, and they've nailed it. And you can change these out. You can put wood ones in here. You could have an FDE with wood if you want. Very nice, very nice. So that is the Sharps Brothers frame. Just to show you how they ship it to you, it comes in a box, which is all you need. Comes in some foam. They give you a cool little sticker, kind of looks like those old tobacco stickers, and those are my replacement grips for my Echelon. I just need to put them on it. You guys coming along and liking these videos and signing up are what's going to really do it for me. I could do the noise, but my dog will freak out. But yeah, awesome. Sharps Brothers, thank you so much for trusting me enough to send me a second frame. They originally sent me the Echelon frame, and you guys made that video do really well. Again, I'll link it up there so that you can go back and watch it and see the original Echelon frame. And you can decide for yourself whether a 340, 380, depending on how you option the frames out, investment is worth it to you. I will say, as a enthusiast in the gun world, this takes the RXM from a gun that's just to a gun that I would happily carry, happily shoot more, because I like the way it feels. And it's the one thing I tell everybody that comes into my store or in my live streams, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, what my suggestion is when they're looking to buy their gun is go to a store, put a bunch of guns in your hand, right? See what fits well, what you can point well, what you can get up into basically low ready or ready, and it feels comfortable. And these flat angles are my preference. This is a excellent angle on this gun because it's very familiar in that it's more flat than the Glock is. The Glocks have that huge hump in them. I don't like that. This is a much more flat front, and it doesn't have forced finger grooves, but the polymer feel just this. Somehow it feels like those were made on the same day. When you put a gun in your hand and it feels better, it feels better. You know what I mean? So that's it. Check out the Sharps Brothers website. I'll link them down below. They make all kinds of chassis kits. Make this video do well because I want to get one of their Heat Seeker chassis for a 1022 and see what I can do with that because, man, these guys are fun skis. Fun skis and done skis. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, likes, dislikes, comments, you want to see more of the doggo, head over to A Dog and a Dude. Come back for more videos. And as always, I'll chalk to you later.